Thank you for taking some time for yourself. Before we talk about anything at all, just notice that you're already doing something effortlessly. You're listening. And as you notice the sound of my voice, you may also notice the simple fact that your body is already breathing without any effort from you at all. And as you notice each breath, you don't need to change it. Because while the breath continues on its own, you can allow your attention to begin doing something interesting as the air moves in and as it moves out. You might notice that each exhale naturally invites a small letting go. Perfect. And as that letting go begins, your shoulders may soften, or your jaw may loosen, or perhaps your eyes begin to blink a little more slowly. And when you notice even the smallest sign of comfort, you don't have to hold on to it, because the closer you get to comfort, the more comfort seems to happen on its own. Perfect. Already, you may be discovering something important. Sleep is smarter than you think. Now, while you're sitting or lying there, you might become aware of the simple sensation of contact, where your body meets the surface beneath you. And as you feel that contact, you may recognize that the surface is already supporting you, which means you don't have to support yourself right now. And as soon as you don't have to support yourself, your attention can begin to drift, not away, but inward. You don't need to concentrate. In fact, don't try to relax until you notice that relaxation has already already started. And when you notice that it has started, even a little, then you may find it becomes easier to allow it to continue. Perfect. Perhaps you'll notice a hand becoming warmer or heavier, lighter. And as soon as you become aware of any change at all, your mind can simply follow it, the way you might watch ripples on water, without needing to name them. And as your attention follows sensation, your thinking mind can begin to rest, because you don't need concepts to experience. Now, time may begin to feel a little flexible, because as you listen, you may not be entirely sure how long you've been listening, or how long you've been comfortable. And as time becomes less important, space can soften too. The room around you becoming less distinct, while the experience inside becomes more vivid. And when inside becomes more vivid, outside can fade into the background without effort, without intention, just allowing. And as your breathing continues, and as each breath happens, automatically your unconscious mind can begin experimenting gently, curiously, with new ways of paying attention. Perfect. You don't have to decide how deeply to go, because the feeling of not deciding can allow something deeper to decide for you. And as that happens, you may notice that sounds don't disturb you. They simply become part of the experience. Thoughts don't interrupt. They pass through and dissolve. And as thoughts dissolve, You may notice moments of pure experience, not thinking about anything, just experiencing. And when that happens, you may recognize that imagination and sensation are already blending naturally, and as imagination blends with sensation, it becomes easier to listen and easier to drift and easier to allow stories to be experienced rather than analyzed, because sleep is smarter than you think. And as your mind already knows how to move in that direction, so as you continue listening, and as your body continues breathing, and as comfort continues to deepen in its own way, your mind can remain open, curious, willing to explore. And when you're ready to hear something a little strange, a little interesting, and surprisingly natural, you'll find yourself already in the exact right state to experience it. Perfect. And as you're listening now, you may notice that one of the reasons you're here is not because your body can't sleep, but because your mind hasn't been shown how to set things down yet. And as you notice that, there's no need to judge it, because many intelligent, capable minds simply don't switch off. They stay open, alert, connected, long after the day has ended. And as the day ends, your mind may still be carrying pieces of it. Conversations, responsibilities, unfinished thoughts, not because you want to, but because no one ever taught you where those thoughts go at night. And as you recognize that, you may begin to notice something important. Sleep was never supposed to require effort. It was designed to happen. when the mind knows it's safe, to stop managing everything. And as you sit or lie there, you might realize that right now, nothing needs solving. Nothing needs deciding. Nothing needs fixing. And when you notice that nothing is required of you, your mind can begin to experience a new context, one where holding on is optional. And as this context becomes clearer, your unconscious can begin preparing what it already knows how to do. Once it's allowed to do it in the right order. Because sleep is smarter than you think. Yet, sleep research is getting pretty weird lately. Scientists used to think that sleep was just the brain switching off, like flipping a light switch. But the more they look, the more they realize it's nothing like that at all. It's more like drifting into a hidden room that's always been there, quietly waiting. They've discovered that sometimes when people are dreaming, they're not fully asleep, and they're not fully awake either. It's something in between, a gentle middle place, a third kind of consciousness. In this space, people know they're dreaming, yet they stay relaxed, floating in the dream world. What's fascinating is that the brain looks different there. Not like waking, not like sleeping, but its own unique rhythm. Almost as if the mind has learned a new way to rest. In that state, people have done surprising things. They've answered questions without waking up. They've solved simple problems. Have communicated with researchers while their bodies remained deeply relaxed, as if part of the mind was listening, while the rest drifted comfortably elsewhere. And it turns out the sleeping mind is far more responsive than we ever imagined. Researchers have gently spoken to people while they slept, and the sleepers responded, not with words, but subtle signals. A small movement of the eyes, a tiny muscle twitch, a yes, a no, all without waking. almost as if the mind hears everything it needs to hear, while the body continues to rest. While all this is happening, something else remarkable is going on. During deep sleep, the brain actually changes shape just a little. It relaxes, it softens, and as it does, a slow cleansing flow moves through it, washing away waste, clearing out what's no longer needed, like a quiet tide moving through a shoreline at night, leaving everything cleaner by morning. This cleansing happens best when the mind is allowed to fully rest, deeply, effortlessly. When people don't get enough sleep, scientists say it's a bit like leaving the trash uncollected. Things begin to pile up. Thoughts feel heavier. Decisions feel harder. And interestingly, when someone is very tired, parts of the brain can briefly fall asleep, even while the person seems awake, just for seconds at a time. Tiny sections go offline. That's when people make odd mistakes or forget what they were just doing. Those little moments of, how did that happen? As the brain quietly asks for rest. And then there's space. Astronauts have shown us something unexpected. In zero gravity, sleep doesn't follow the usual rules at all. The familiar stages blur together. The brain adapts, creating new hybrid states of rest. Sleep becomes flexible, creative, proof that the mind knows how to rest in more ways than we once believed. So sleep isn't a shutdown. It's not empty. It's intelligent, responsive, alive in its own quiet way. A place where the mind can listen, clean, adapt, and restore itself, all without effort. And knowing that, it becomes easier to let go, to trust that rest knows exactly what to do. And as that understanding settles in, feelings may begin to shift. Not dramatically, just enough to notice. Perhaps there's a sense of relief in realizing sleep isn't something you do. Something something that happens when the mind is allowed to stop doing everything else. And as you notice that idea, your unconscious may begin remembering times when rest came naturally, moments when you drifted off without trying, without planning, without tracking time. And as those memories surface, you may not see them clearly. You might simply feel what they felt like. That subtle letting go. That soft edge. That moment when thoughts didn't disappear. They just moved to the background. And as you reconnect with that feeling, your mind can begin relearning an important skill. How to place thoughts gently aside without pushing them away, without engaging them, just settling them somewhere safe where they can wait until morning. Perfect. And as your mind practices that now, you may notice that thoughts don't need to stop for sleep to begin. They only need to become less central. And when they move to the edges, your body can take over the rest of the process automatically, quietly, in the correct sequence. And as that sequence begins to re-emerge, you don't need to know the steps consciously, because your unconscious already knows the way, because sleep is smarter than you think. And as you notice that rest already knows what to do, you may begin to feel something loosening, not all at once, just enough. And as that loosening begins, you don't need to hold anything together anymore. Because when nothing needs to be held, whatever has been carried for too long can finally begin to release. And as any feeling moves, whether it's relief or simple tiredness, you don't have to go into it. Because as feelings move through, they can move past you. And as you notice that, you may realize that that the feeling and you are not the same thing. Perfect. And when that distinction becomes clear, the feeling can drift a little further away, as if it belongs to an earlier moment, an earlier version, a different time. And as it moves into the distance, you can observe it without being inside it. And as soon as you're observing, your nervous system can calm, because observation means safety. And as safety settles in, your mind can begin representing the past differently, not as something that's happening now, but as something that already happened, and it's finished. And as that shift occurs, memories that once felt close can move further away, like images changing size, or sounds becoming quieter. And as the old representations fade, new ones can emerge. Perhaps an image of yourself resting easily, or drifting naturally, or waking up refreshed. And the clearer that image becomes, the less room the old one needs. Perfect. And as your attention moves toward what works, your memory system can reorganize, keeping what's useful and letting the rest fall away. And as this reorganization continues, you may find your awareness drifting forward in time. Not far, just enough. And as you imagine yourself some nights from now, lying down, not trying, just allowing. And when you see that future version of you, notice how they don't do sleep. They allow it. And as you recognize that, you may realize something quietly important. That future version is using the same mind you have now. And as soon as that recognition occurs, your unconscious can begin installing that ability into the present. And when you lie down in bed in the future, as soon as your head touches the pillow, your body will remember this state. Perfect. And as your breathing changes, your mind will follow, and you won't need to know how, because knowing how belongs to the unconscious. And if you wake in the night, and when you notice that you're awake, then instead of effort, your mind will return to that middle place. And the closer you get to it, the less important thoughts become, and sleep will return. Not because you made it happen, but because you stopped interfering. Perfect. And as this pattern continues, each night becomes easier than the one before. And now, so now, there's nothing left to understand, nothing to figure out, nothing to hold on to. Sleep isn't a shutdown. It's not empty. It's intelligent. And it knows exactly how to take over from here. And knowing that, you don't need to stay with these words anymore. You can let them fade the way sounds fade when you drift off, the way thoughts soften and slip into the background, because rest knows what to do now. Your body knows what to do, and you can simply fall asleep. You're perfect just as you are.